revive expired provisions under any pretext. Unfortunately, European JCPOA participants have failed to meet their obligation. Even worse, they falsely assert that Iran is close to acquiring nuclear weapons, a falsehood unsupported by credible evidence. Our peaceful program under strict IAEA verification cannot be denied. Despite this aggression and the unconstructive behavior of the European parties, Iran remained committed to diplomacy and peaceful dispute resolution. Resolution 2231 proved that diplomacy can and must resolve differences. Seventh, Iran continued to believe a diplomatic resolution to nuclear and sanction issue is possible. Our commitment is evident through our full implementation of JCPOA and Resolution 2231. But if the other parties truly want a resolution, they must respect Iran's right and stop undermining diplomacy. 8. Iran never initiated this war. Once the aggressors stopped their attacks, Iran stopped its lawful military response as well. Nevertheless, Iran will not overlook the deceit and double standards. Our brave armed forces remain fully prepared to respond to any further threats or violation. Finally, to conclude, Madam President, we are now closer to diplomacy than ever before. The long, large-scale war they thought could force Iran into so-called unconditional surrender and make it abandon its peaceful nuclear program through intimidation, threats, and the use of force has failed more clearly than ever. They unleashed their full military might, supporting and providing Israel with advanced fighter jets, sophisticated weaponry, and the most powerful bombs, even bunker busters, to attack Iran's peaceful nuclear facilities, and covertly, deliberately, and indiscriminately targeted civilians and critical infrastructures. These attacks led to the martyrdom of hundreds of innocent people, including women, children, nuclear scientists, academics, athletes, students, aid workers, and senior military officials, and left thousands more injured. We honor martyrs for their sacrifices as well as our brave, patriotic people in defense of our homeland. Iran emerged proud and steadfast in the face of this criminal aggression. This proves one simple truth more clearly than ever: diplomacy and dialogue are the only path to resolving the unnecessary crisis over Iran's peaceful program. I thank you.
I thank the representative of the Islamic Republic of Iran for his statement, and I give the floor now to the representative of Germany.
Madam President, I would like to thank Undersecretary General Di Carlo, Ambassador Spogar, and Ambassador Lambrininis for their valuable briefings and continuous efforts to implement United Nations Security Council Resolution 2231. For 2 decades, this Council has been deliberating on the Iranian nuclear program. We find ourselves at a particularly difficult juncture today. France, Germany, and the United Kingdom have consistently made every effort to find a diplomatic solution with Iran and will continue to do so, but the Iranian nuclear program remains a threat to international peace and security. Last Friday, the E3 foreign ministers and the EU High Representative met with their Iranian counterpart in Geneva to call upon Iran to engage in negotiations. We will continue our joint diplomatic effort to address all concerns associated with Iran's nuclear program. We have always been clear: Iran must not have a nuclear weapon. It can only be a non-nuclear weapon state under the NPT and must respect its nuclear safeguards obligations. Our efforts, conducted jointly with many partners around the globe, have aimed at preventing Iran from getting a nuclear weapon. We successfully concluded the JCPOA, which put robust and verifiable restrictions on Iran's nuclear program and would have provided the entire international community with confidence that Iran's nuclear activities remain exclusively peaceful. Throughout the last years, we witnessed an expansion of Iran's nuclear program far beyond Iran's commitments under the JCPOA. As of last month, Iran's enriched uranium stockpile were 40 times higher than allowed under the JCPOA limits. Iran continued to enrich uranium to up to 60%, which lacks any plausible civilian purpose, in an underground facility. It stopped implementing almost all of its key and transparency commitments it subscribed to under the JCPOA as well. The E3 have always pursued diplomacy to find a solution to the Iranian nuclear proliferation crisis. In 21 and 22, we negotiated in good faith to bring the US back into the JCPOA and Iran to full compliance with its commitments. To no avail. Iran twice refused a fair proposal put on the table by the coordinator and decided to further escalate its nuclear program to the level we all know. In conjecture with Iran's failure to comply with its legally binding safeguards obligations, an assessment that was confirmed by the Board of Governors resolution last month, Iran's nuclear activities have remained a threat to regional and global security. Iran's nuclear program continues to pose serious proliferation concerns. We are particularly concerned by any possible relocation of nuclear materials since the recent military strikes. We reiterate that as a member of the NPT and its nuclear safeguards regime, Iran is obliged to declare and put all nuclear material located in Iran under IAEA safeguards. Iran must fully cooperate with the agency and refrain from threats against its personnel and DG Grossi himself, whose professional work we commend. In this regard, we are alerted by the initiative in the Iranian parliament to suspend cooperation with the agency, as well as by Iran's deliberations to withdraw from the NPT. In closing, let me welcome the ceasefire between Israel and Iran announced yesterday and call on, like others, Germany joins calls on all sides to respect it and to